2, 1. This is James Helder. I'm in Frederick's restaurant today for the Boxnation announcement. With me, I have the main man from Hatton Promotions, Mr. Ricky Hatton. All right, Rick?
Yeah, great to be here today.
I say, looking in good shape, Rick?
Why did you say that? Was shocking your voice, but no, I always struggled with my weight for a number of years, and I don't think I'm going to be what you'd exactly call a sticking set. But I am keeping the weight off. I'm still only on the one wardrobe, where I used to be 3 wardrobes. So. And it's, life is really good. I'm in the gym every day. I'm working really, really hard. I'm training with some wonderful kids.
Still sparring as well, I've been reading.
Yeah, I'm in the gym sparring and on the pads with the lads and going on runs with the lads now even, so it's really good and with a fantastic, life is just good now from so good from where it used to be.
Let's talk a little bit about the announcement today. It's a bit of a shock for a lot of media people, having you 4 promoters on the same table in the same room looking to now provide content for Boxnation. It's a massive thing, isn't it?
It is a massive thing, and it's good for British boxing and British fight fans because, how many fights have probably the British public been starved of because one fella's with one TV channel and one fella's with another promoter and he's fell out with that promoter and them two don't get on and fights just don't seem to happen. But I think there's a better chance of fights happening now. The fact that, 3 of the 4, I guess, leading promoters in the country are all under one banner, and working together and to make the best fights. And for me, that, my fighters were starved of television for such a long time, now the chance that they're going to get the exposure on TV as well. It's been a very, very proud day for me.
For me, it kind of looked like you guys were banding together against your rival, a fast car, bar Chuck McKenzie, and you've got the full squad, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but, when you look at the stable that Frank Warren's got, the stable Frank Maloney's got, the stable I've got, all on one channel on Boxnation, it's got to be good for, for British boxing, to be honest. And, the main thing is that I think I speak for the majority of all the fighters in my stable, they all want to fight the best. And, there's Martin Murray versus Billy Joe Saunders we can make.
I'm going to touch on that. Do you think this now makes that fight? Well, I know Billy Joe's got 2 very tough fights coming up, Gary O'Sullivan and then John Ryder, but do you think in the future that Martin Murray fight can be made now?
That's the key, the future. I think Martin in his last performance against Sergio Martin has proved he's right at the the elite now. But obviously Billy Joe Saunders has got the ability to be right up there in the very, very near future. And I've got Sergey Rabchenko, who's the mandatory now for Saul Alvarez.
Coming on quite well, is he?
Coming on really, really well. He's the European light middleweight champion and the WBC silver belt champion. So. He's right there, for the world title shot. I've also got a heavyweight that puts in the mix when you think you've got big David Price, we like to whisper.
Australian heavyweight.
Lucas Brown, I think he's 18 unbeaten with 17 knockouts. You've got David coming back, and, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish David all the best, being from the Northwest, we're dead proud of him, but I've got a heavyweight that you chuck in the mix there as well, and I've got, an army full of champions that, that probably the British public have not had the chance to see, but now they're going to see him now.
Boxnation have delivered on the massive American fights recently again, Mayweather, Saul Alvarez. It's absolutely fantastic. But I think domestically, it's been needing the impetus of more fights and more fights to be made and fighters being thrown in with each other. So to have you guys now again involved in providing some of the content and promoting your own shows, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's how times have changed. Without Frank said at the table, Frank Warren, it's. Boxnation has struggled, but it's come good and it's persevered. And when you look how strong it is now with the overseas fights that they have on, and 3, 4 promoters all sat at a table, all looking to work together. It's fantastic to see. But in the financial climate, which has made it difficult for all TV channels, and in many ways, the best maybe having to push together a little bit sooner than maybe normal. The days where you can have, I think I had like. Sometimes 9 fights a year, which is very, very difficult these days, But
lucky if you see fighters fight maybe 3 times a year.
And they, but the thing is, these guys are all going to fight each other now, and I there's a lot to admire being sat next to Frank Warren and Frank Maloney because I'm a rookie in this, promotional game, and when you look over the years how Frank has struggled and had bad times, and Frank Maloney has also struggled and had bad times. They've persevered, stuck with it. and they're still here. And in many ways, that's what's happened to me. My dates fell through with Sky, and I could have chucked the towel in, but I persevered with it. My promotions has kept bobbing along nicely, and because I've persevered and kept at it, now I've got this wonderful opportunity with Boxnation. So. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm not so different to the two Franks, really. I'd like to think I made out with strong stuff. I've persevered with it, and now my promotions and my fighters in my promotional outfit are going to be at the awards, I guess.
Having had such a massive boxing career and a lot of your fights being shown on Sky, the money and revenue and advertising that you've generated for that company, was it quite disappointing for the relationship to end in the fashion that it did?
Yeah, that's the key. The fashion. Like in the financial climate, if Sky are cutting back on budgets, boxing is not at the high of the Sky, list, if you like. They've got darts, they've got cricket, they've got football, so, if someone was going to go from boxing, obviously, I was one of them, and, that's not. I've had no problem with that. I can't have no regrets. I know how it works. But
I just felt that your company was quite fledgling in the promotion company, and it didn't have a chance to grow in the space that it needed.
They did. I think I deserved a little bit more than an email to me matchmaker. I thought I deserved a little bit more. I mean, I only had 6 dates, and he had 6 dates, and I must have had 15, 16 champions at the time, so I had to double up on fights to try and impress. And unfortunately, I was thinking, well, if I lose money this year, it doesn't matter. If I get 12 dates next year, that's when I get it back. And I didn't. I think I got no dates, so it was very hard.
Thrown a pile of money, chasing money, and dates that didn't materialise.
Yeah, so it was very harsh. But no hard feelings. You know what I mean? I understand the reason why my dates were cut. Because Sky have Sky have a lot more important things than boxing, and if they're cutting back, boxing was one of the things that got hit. So I have no problems with that. But one thing is, good job I made a stern stuff. I stuck at it, and look what's happened today.
Something positive's come from that. As I said, I think Boxnation is a fantastic platform, and it's good to have competition. That there's 2 main outlets for boxing, and if anything, it's going to increase the prizes for the fighters and the general quality of the show. So it's a good thing.
No, absolutely, to be honest with you. I mean, back in the day where there was ITV, there was BBC, there was, the more channels to go at, the more competition there is, the more opportunities I think this is the best thing, really, because if you've got 2 things, but you've got 3 promoters under one organisation, instead of all avoiding their fighters, don't want to fight each other. There's so many fights that don't get made. Where boxing fight fans are going, I want to see him fight him, and I want to see him fight him, and what a good fight that would be. And they just don't happen because they're on different TV networks. So
politics, isn't it?
With rival promoters that don't want to work together. It's the mould has been changed today. And it's going to be for the better for British boxing.
Ricky Hatton, sir, I want to thank you for giving us a little bit of time and answering my questions so honestly and candidly. As I said, I'm a massive fan of yours, and to hopefully now I can see your next chapter of your journey in promotions and watching everything. It's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, so looking forward to it.
This is James Holder, Ricky Hatton. Thank you for watching.